Everyone loves a good alcoholic drink now and then. The most popular of these alcoholic drinks is beer. But as much as some people like to drink their alcoholic beverages, there are also some things that you need to be careful about when drinking too much of it. The typical alcoholic content of American alcoholic beers is from 4 to 5% per volume. However, some might contain much more. Minerals including selenium, potassium, magnesium, and the B vitamins are all present in beer. Hops antioxidants may also be present in it. Some choose to drink beer to stave against heart and stroke problems, which include those for diabetes, anxiety, cancer, and many other conditions. It is also used for memory and cognitive abilities. In otherwise healthy individuals, moderate alcoholic consumption, including beer, lowers the chance of developing heart diseases. However, it is to be noted that there isn't enough credible scientific evidence to support the majority of these claims. So people who consume beer and other alcoholic drinks for these specific purposes need to restrict themselves from over-drinking. Before we continue, a brief request from us. If you find value in this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss our valuable content on health in the future. Now off to our discussion on alcohol and how it can affect your body. Beer is a traditional and widely consumed beverage that many consider to be the world's first fermented drink. Beer is the alcoholic beverage of choice for the majority of consumers. It is the third most common drink in the world, just behind water and tea in popularity. Especially at pubs and bars, beer is offered in bottles, cans, and maybe also on draft. Sugars from grains are fermented to produce beer. It mostly consists of barley, hops, water, and yeast. Alcohol is the primary active component of beer. Thus, the same health risks associated with alcohol also apply to beer. When beer is ingested, the alcohol enters the circulation straight through the stomach and small intestines and swiftly circulates all areas of the body. This has various effects on the human body. The many types of alcohol we consume all have an ethanol foundation. Ethanol, also known as ethyl alcohol, is a transparent volatile liquid with a strong bitter flavor. The small yeast that consume the sugars in fruits and grains make ethanol as waste as they break everything down. Ethanol is made by these yeasts that ferment the carbohydrates in these particular drinks. Because they are tiny and extremely water-soluble, the ethanol molecule is very quickly absorbed in the gut and circulated throughout the blood to almost all of the body's organs and tissues, including the brain, when we drink alcohol. Although oils and fats can dissolve in ethanol and make it intoxicated, ethanol does not readily dissolve into them. Although ethanol is a nutrient, it is most easily transformed into fat. And just like other nutrients, they enter our body most readily through the small intestines. Therefore, if you plan to drink, what you eat will likely have a significant impact on how your night will go. Beer naturally ends up in your stomach when you first drink it, but what occurs afterwards greatly depends on whether or not you have eaten. If you've eaten, your stomach is basically confined by the alcohol as it struggles to digest the solid meal. While confined in your stomach though, alcohol may be taken into your circulation from there, but this happens quite slowly, thus your blood alcohol content, or BAC, likewise increases pretty slowly. However, if you haven't eaten adequately, alcohol enters the small intestines rapidly, where it is swiftly absorbed into the circulation due to the huge surface area of the small intestine. The epithelium is the name for the layer of cells that lines the interior of your small intestines. The epithelium is made up of numerous different cell types that are arranged into tiny protrusions that resemble fingers and are covered by even smaller protrusions called microvilli. These protrusions are collectively referred to as villi. Enterocytes are the specific cells that absorb food and alcohol. Villi and microvilli significantly expanded the surface area of the small intestines to aid in the absorption of water and nutrients such as amino acids, carbohydrates, lipids, and alcohol into blood vessels. Ethanol may easily enter the bloodstream through the same openings and pores that water does, since it is merely a tiny molecule, about 3 times smaller than water. Everything you consume that is taken into circulation through the digestive tract first travels through a unique network of veins called the portal system in your liver. On the first trip through the liver, some ethanol will be metabolized or broken down because the portal veins empty into a network of tiny channels that function as an exchange system. The remaining blood is transported to the heart together with the rest of the blood, then to the lungs for oxygenation. After returning to the heart, the remaining blood is then pumped through the arterial system to all organs in the body, including the brain. The effects of alcohol that we often identify with drinking occur here. When consumed moderately, alcoholic beer is probably safe for the majority of individuals, so long as they drink 2 12-ounce glasses daily. However, consuming more than this may be dangerous. The high alcoholic content in beer can lead to major issues, such as low blood sugar, vomiting, blackouts, and tiredness. Long-term use of excessive quantities of alcoholic beer can result in a number of major health issues, including dependency, liver issues, and some forms of cancer. It is probably dangerous to consume alcoholic beer when pregnant. The unborn child may suffer substantial injury, including birth abnormalities. It is associated with a high chance of miscarriage, fetal alcohol syndrome, developmental and behavioral problems after delivery, and other adverse outcomes. Beer with alcohol should not be consumed when pregnant. The safety of non-alcoholic beer during pregnancy is unknown due to a lack of sufficient credible information. Also, alcohol can cause the central nervous system to slow down. Combining alcohol with other drugs taken before, during, and after surgery might cause the central nervous system to slow down excessively. So avoid drinking a night before a certain procedure. Alcohol slows down the activity of nerve cells in the brain by acting as a depressant. It accomplishes this by interfering with the neurotransmitters in the brain. Alcohol is able to do so since ethanol is such a tiny molecule that it can pass the blood-brain barrier, a set of narrow capillaries in the brain. Our nervous system uses neurotransmitters, which are chemical messengers, to talk to our muscles and nerve cells. Although there are many different kinds of neurotransmitters, alcohol mostly affects 3 of them: glutamate, dopamine, and GABA. Since GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter, ethanol amplifies its effects. In other words, it slows the brain down by reducing electrical activity due to glutamate's role as an excitatory neurotransmitter and the fact that ethanol decreases its levels in the brain as well. Glutamate's influence on the body is also diminished. After a few drinks, this is how we experience speech problems and sluggish coordination due to both of these effects. The reward area of the brain produces more dopamine when we consume ethanol, which heightens our enjoyment of the beverage. Not everyone who drinks experiences the same amount of pleasure though. Due to their unique genetic makeup, some people experience pleasure on a far greater scale than others. These individuals are very susceptible to heavy drinking and developing alcoholism. This is why we should avoid drinking too much and why we should drink in moderation. We should always give ourselves a reminder to not overdrink so we won't end up with these dangerous and inconvenient side effects. And that concludes our video on the effects of having too much alcohol in our bodies. Also, be reminded that this video is primarily for information only, and we do not claim to provide medical advice that is tailor-suited to your needs. Be reminded to consult with a medical professional and seek personalized healthcare that will fit you. Additionally, leave a comment below your experiences with drinking and how you think you've avoided alcoholism. Leave a like, subscribe, and click the bell button to receive information on our new health-related videos. If you want to watch more of our content, check out this video in the lower right corner. You can also check out our playlist of related content. Anyway, see you later and thank you for watching.